If you guys are looking to order a 2021 C8 Corvette, you're definitely going to want to check out this video because I'm going to tell you what options to order and why. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. My name is Justin, and today we are going to talk about the C8 Corvette, the options that I ordered, and why I ordered the car the way I did. All right, guys, so I know a lot of you out there are looking forward to your C8 Corvette, and unfortunately, a lot of you guys are not going to be able to receive a 2020 C8 Corvette, and instead, they're going to be bumped up to the 2021. Now, this in general is not necessarily a bad thing other than the fact that you got to wait a little bit longer because a lot of the options for the 2021 are actually a little bit better, but unfortunately, some of them are actually even a little bit more expensive. So what we're going to do, I'm actually going to take you through a tour of my C8 Corvette, show you all the options I did get, and I want to tell you why I chose what I did and how those options are going to vary and change a little bit for the 2021s. Now, ultimately, I have spent a little over a month with the car. I have about 2,500 miles on the car, so I have a lot of time behind the steering wheel, and I can tell you what options are absolutely needed and what you can kind of pass on if you want to save some money on ordering this freaking beast. And with that said, I haven't really discussed a lot about the car's details after getting it. I was so excited about picking up the car finally that I didn't really tell you guys a lot about it. So I want to go over the options with you all just so you have an idea of what the car is, what options it has, and all that good stuff. So whenever I'm filming videos, you understand, you know, this is a Z51 car and it has this option and that option. That way you understand if anything additional has been added, it wasn't included with the purchase of the car. So with that said, let's jump right into it. Now, as you guys can see behind me, the beast is still here as well. So my ZR1 is still here. It is not going anywhere because I'm going to actually give you guys a really in-depth review of the C8 Corvette, but it's actually because of the C8 that I don't want this to go anywhere. And the big thing is, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler alert for that video. They're just so different. They're so radically different that it's not like I can only have one or the other as far as the driving experience is concerned, because this is a totally different experience than that. So it doesn't make any sense to only have one because of how different they are. It's very easy to drive and appreciate both for what they are. So before we start with going over the car, I want to do the most important part of this video, and that is cold start. Okay, so let's start off with the most obvious one here, and that is the fact that this is a Z51 car. You can tell this by a couple different things, but the big one is you get this Z51 wing, and you also get larger rotors and calipers. You also get the front lip here, which, as you can see, mine does not have. So I do have that, I just never put it on because I have something different coming that I'm not going to use that for anyway. Stay tuned for that. That will be coming very soon. Hopefully within the next couple days, I'll be getting that on, and it will look absolutely fantastic because this car already is very striking, and this is only going to take it up a notch. That is just the visual difference with the Z51 kit. It is a lot more track oriented. You also get additional radiators to help keep the car cool while on the track because the Z51 package is literally for track use. Now, the other obvious thing is this is a torch red car. As you guys know, I did have it XPEL stealth wrapped at Blackout Tinting in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and they did a fantastic job, but the car is not normally a satin color. It is, in fact, torch red. I also got the red calipers, which when normally painted, that does perfectly match the torch red exterior color of the Corvette. Another option I got that is also visual is the carbon flash painted side view mirrors, which also paints the rear Z51 spoiler carbon flash as well. So in order to get this carbon flash, the mirrors have to be carbon flashed. Now we're gonna go over the prices for all this stuff once we bust out the window sticker, so just stay tuned for that stuff. The price is coming, but like I said, some of those prices have changed because the 2021 options are a little bit more expensive. I actually have a separate video detailing how much those options have gone up. If you haven't seen that yet, I will link that video right up here. You can check it out and it will tell you what these options are gonna cost you on a 2021 C8. Another visual option is the fact that all of the badging is painted carbon flash as well. So that's the default option. You can actually choose to have this stuff painted in chrome. and in some cases any color you want when it comes to the Corvette lettering that is normally right here. So you can have that painted a couple different colors from factory. Obviously mine is not on here right now, but it is carbon flash, just like all the other badges are on the car. Normally with the Z51 option, you also get a louder sounding exhaust. As you can see here, I actually have the AWE exhaust system, so it's a little different for me to show you this stuff now, but normally you would have a louder sounding exhaust that obviously flows a little bit better and actually gives you a little more horsepower as well as torque. Sticking with the visual aspect of the car and the visual options, I also have the open spoke carbon flash painted wheels. This was the stock option with a $995 option on top of it to make them carbon flash instead of your normal bright silver. You can bump that up to the carbon flash painted Trident wheels, but I knew these are not staying for long, so I didn't really care what wheel option it got. All I knew is it had to be black, because with the red car I had to have black accents, and I didn't know how long these wheels were going to stick around. I just knew that they weren't going to stick around, but even now it's been a little over a month and it's killing me because I really don't like the wheel options on the C8 Corvette at all. Those will be getting swapped out very soon. And actually right here are the wheels. So all 4 wheels, all 4 tires, these are coming very soon. Stay tuned for that. For the 2020 as well as the 2021, you do have an option to change the engine cover. Mine is actually the default one, is the one that I ordered the car with. This particular cover is actually provided to me by Pat over at American Hydrocarbon. He actually custom paints them. And that is a satin red with carbon flash rails and Corvette lettering in red, as well as the C8 Corvette logo at the top of the cover being fully filled in by hand. For those of you eagle-eyed viewers wondering why these things are missing, stay tuned. Normally that is a gray cover and it doesn't really stand out much. I knew I wanted to do something with this, but I didn't want to go with the option from GM because that was almost $600 extra, and I knew I wanted to do something a little more custom. Now this is also one of the options on the 2021 that has gone up in price, so make sure you check out that video if you haven't yet. While we're in the engine bay, we'll talk about the other option I got, which is the engine appearance package. That adds the carbon fiber pieces right here, as well as these 2 LED lights up here that light up at night when you unlock or lock the car. It really makes the engine bay look awesome. And the option itself, in my opinion, wasn't horribly priced, so I thought I had to do it because the whole idea of the mid-engine Corvette is the fact that you can see this thing through the glass. I wanted to make it look as pretty as possible, and I felt that was a pretty cool option. Again, while we're back here, you can see I do have the magnetic ride control, so I am able to select Tour, Sport, and Track for difference in suspension feel. This is a little bit different for the 2021s because you can actually select this independently from the Z51 package, whereas with the 2020s, you had to get the Z51 to get the magnetic ride, but it was still an additional cost anyway. Of course, in normal Pennsylvania fashion, it is starting to rain here, so luckily we're done on the outside of the car. We're going to jump inside and go over all the options that were chosen in there as well. Okay, so when climbing into the car, the first thing you are going to notice is the competition seats. So I decided to go with the competition seats on the C8 Corvette because I didn't get them with that one, and I regretted it. So I didn't want to go with the GT1 seat because I think the GT1 is kind of odd looking. I don't really care for the design. I would have gone with the GT2 seats, but I knew I wanted something a little more grippy, especially for spirited driving and any kind of track use. If you plan on just driving the car around town and not really doing any kind of spirited driving, I would recommend the GT2 seats because they look almost just like this all the way down to right here, and then these bolsters are more flat on the GT2. So if you're a bigger dude or lady, you may not want the bolsters to be this large. Now, for those of you familiar with the channel, you know I'm not exactly tiny and I love these seats. So if you're my size or smaller, you are going to be absolutely fine in here. Now, another thing you notice when first opening the door is the carbon fiber here. We do have carbon fiber on both doors, the mode select, as well as around the speedometer area here. And that is an additional cost and an additional appearance package for the interior of the car as well. I wanted this because it really helps make the car a little more supercar. Next thing you're going to notice is the red seat belts. This is an additional cost as well, and I always like the idea of red seat belts. As you guys know, I actually added the red ones to my black CR1, and I really feel like it gives that interior the extra little pop that you need to give it some color. But let's go ahead and jump inside and talk about the rest of the options here. So as you guys can see, the dashboard is stitched with white. Now this was kind of an odd scenario for me, because ultimately I wanted a 3LT interior for a couple different reasons. A nicer quality leather, the whole dash is leather stitched, and the stuff that is leather on the 2LT is a nicer quality when you go with the 3LT. And you get the option to have any color stitching you want, and I would have loved to have had red in here. But with that said, you can tell by looking at the airbag and the dash that this is not a 3LT, it's actually a 2LT. So the 2LT gives you a bunch of different options, but it doesn't give you that higher quality leather, and it doesn't allow you to have the color stitching that you want. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, wait a minute, if you wanted the 3LT, why didn't you get the 3LT? Well, the big reason is I ultimately want the C8 Z06. So I know I'm not going to keep the Stingray for a crazy long amount of time, and I was advised by my dealership that the 2LT has a better resale value. When the time comes for me to get out of the 2LT Stingray and into a Z06, it will definitely be a 3LZ, because I do like the higher quality leather. I do like the additional stitching on the airbags. It makes it feel, again, more supercar. Now, at some point, I'm sure you guys are going to ask, what is all over the chrome stuff on the dash here? And that is actually some adhesive that was left behind from the protective film that the dealership put on this car before delivery. I pulled it all off, and a lot of it got left behind. I still need to clean that off. I will do that, I promise, right after this video. Like I said, in the future, the Z06 will definitely be a 3LT, and if I could take it back and reorder this car, I probably still would have gotten this in a 3LT anyway, because the price difference over what I paid for this was only about $2,500 to $3,000 more. But anyway, the 2LT option gives you things like the ability to have navigation, the camera and built into the rear view mirror here, as well as the better sounding Bose system with more speakers, things like that. So I'm definitely glad to have at least gotten a 2LT, but at the same time, I do wish this would have been a 3LT. Especially if you're going to keep this car, I would highly recommend the 3LT. Now, with that said, another semi-interior option I got was, in fact, the front end lift. So the button right here in the middle will allow you to lift the front end 2 inches, which helps me immensely when it comes to pulling into my driveway and things like that. Now, I do actually plan on getting this car lowered. I have a couple things in the works that will actually allow you to lower the front end lift cars, which is really cool, because this car needs to be lowered about an inch, a little, maybe even a little bit more, about 1.2 inches to really look appropriate, in my opinion. So stay tuned for that. I will be doing that very soon as well. The parts just came in the mail today. I will be looking into that very soon. I will give you guys one more look at these nice, very nice competition seats. I really absolutely love these things, just like I knew I would. You can see here, it's actually carbon fiber around the trim here, which you actually do get those on the GT2 seats as well, but not with the GT1. And when spirited driving is happening, I'm telling you, there is nothing better than being glued to your seat in this car. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all the options. So we're gonna jump out and actually look over the window sticker now, so you guys can see what the price was on all this stuff and kind of decide for yourself if it's worth it for you. And what better way to look at the window sticker than on top of the new wheels that will be coming soon. This is the window sticker, and there is the final option price I paid. So $82,810 is what I paid. Now we can go over all the options here individually, just like I did outside. We started with the Z51 Performance Package. As you can see right there, that is a $5,000 option. And with the Z51 package, we also get the magnetic ride control, which right there is $1,895. Then we went on to the actual competition seats, which were an additional $1,995. And the engine appearance package, like I said, not priced too badly at $995. So that's all the extra carbon fiber and the LED lights that light up at night. Right down below that, we get the bright red painted brake calipers, which are $595 on top of your normal build price. The torch red seat belts were $395. Like I said, I had them in my ZR1. I actually added them to the ZR1, but it was definitely an option I knew I had to have on this car. Now, the carbon flash metallic painted side view mirrors, like I said, also gives you that rear spoiler. That was only $100. So definitely appropriately priced there. Now, the interior carbon fiber bits that I showed you on the door panels, the mode select, and around the speedometer was $1,500. Again, really gives the car an extra supercar bump. I feel like that's something I wanted to have on the car. So whether or not it's worth it to you, $1,500 is a lot of money. So I'll leave that one up to you guys. The front lift is $1,495. This is another option that is getting a price bump for the 2021s. Again, check out that video that I made already if you haven't yet, but this is going up to almost $2,000. I feel like this is probably the single most desirable feature of the C8 Corvette. So if it were me ordering a 2021, I would definitely get that option. But with the price going up on it, again, I'll leave it up to you guys. Now, another option that I got that I haven't put on is actually called the composite rockers. This actually will stick to the side of the car and just give it a black look instead of the normal body color. And it was $550. If I could go back in time, I would not have selected that option because that is actually not able to be used with the new option I have coming. So again, like I said, stay tuned for that stuff, but I'm not going to count that too much into this because that's not an option I would choose in the future. Like I said, with the 19-inch front and 20-inch rear carbon flash painted wheels, it was $995. Normally that is a no charge because if you get the silver option, but I knew I wanted them black because I didn't know how long I was going to have those wheels until these beautiful ones came in. But anyway, guys, that is all of the options. So at the base price of $58,900 after all my options and fees, we are at $82,810. So with that said, like I told you guys earlier in the video, the 2021 Corvettes are going to be a little bit more expensive depending on the options you choose. Chevy actually said they were not changing the price of the 2021s, and they didn't change the base price, but the options, certain options, are a little bit more expensive. Like I said a couple times, I have a video out discussing that, so I'm not going to go over all the details here, but you're definitely going to want to check it out if you're looking to grab a 2021. But anyway, guys, I hope this helped you a little bit. I hope it helped you get to know the car a little bit more because you're going to be seeing a lot of this on the channel, and I want you to understand what options came with it and why I chose what I did. I see you over there, Bill. Are you watching? Yeah. Nice. But like I was saying, with the options on the car, this is obviously totally up to you guys. I just wanted to let you know what options I went with in case you're looking at this car and you're thinking the same thing I am, which is, oh my freaking God, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. So if you want a car just like this, those are the options you're going to want to choose, as well as hitting up blackout tinting to get your XPEL stealth wrap to make it look just like that. I mean, it really is tough for me to show you guys on video what that looks like because in person it looks so much better. But anyway, if you guys have any questions about any of the details that I just went over, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions about the ordering process or anything like that. I will be making a separate video discussing the order process of this car, or I should say the ordeal of ordering this car, just so you guys have an idea of what to expect when you go to order your own. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. I have loads of C8 Corvette content as well as the C7 stuff back there coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.